Welcome to the Great Guitar Build-Off, welcome to my home studio, welcome to the main announcement of who has won the Invitational series of the Great Guitar Build-Off 2021. Burn it. Oh, it should be a laser. Haha, yay! The competition was started out as a small, relatively small thing with a few YouTubers involved at the beginning of lockdown last year, 2020, to inspire people to think about something other than the global pandemic and to maybe get into building guitars. It started small. It has, in 1 year, turned into this giant, enormous monstrosity of awesomeness. Those monstrosity and awesomeness, they don't go together. As we speak, every single one of these guitars is being auctioned off for a combination of the Great Guitar Build-Off and a charity of the builder's choice. And you can own, well, you could own all of them if you so wished. So please check out the links in the description below if you are interested, and we'll have screenshots of the instruments as they, of the auction listings as they are currently. So auctioning is going to be finishing off on Friday evening, UK time. It will be during my live stream, and we'll watch it happen, and it's all going to be great fun. Great Guitar Build-Off, what is this? It is about promoting guitar building, of course, through the use of video and online and Instagram and all that jazz. But the important bit is, at Crimson Guitars, we're often approached by people who can't afford to get into it. It is not an inexpensive hobby or career to get into, and GGBO is all about helping people who are less fortunate get into something creative. And, well, wait for next year. It is also evolving, and we're going to start trying to get guitars into the hands of children who can't afford them. The announcements, the Invitational, that is what we hear about on Saturday. On Saturday, come back, and we will find out the top 20 in the real competition, which is the public one, where we have over 400 people building guitars for a rather large prize. And you guys, well, you guys need to vote for them too. So come back on Saturday. But that's Saturday, today. Myself, Jimmy DiResta, Johnny from Crafted Workshop, and Dylan Talks Tone, we are all utter failures. We missed the deadline. And in some cases that shows in the vote. And Dylan actually still hasn't finished his build. He is still going to finish it, and he's going to auction that off. But in order of the public vote, last place, a thoroughly undeserved last place, because this is an incredible instrument, is Johnny from Crafted Workshop. I have wanted to work with him for years, since I heard him talking about the fact that he has been a musician his whole life. He's currently building a little house, and that project, much like my shred, got in the way of my GGBO, and it just all came down on him, and he ran out of time. But the bass that he built is insane, insane, insane.
Keep in mind, I am not a bass player.
I mean, check out the guitar. It's made out of multiple layers of skateboards, and he built it during Pride Month. The charity is Pride Foundation, of course. It's perfect. Dylan Talks Tone is next up in the vote. He has not finished his instrument yet, but when it is done, he's going to be donating half of the proceeds to GGBO and half of them to the Native American Music Fund. And I, for one, am looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. Jimmy DiResta has a history of taking guitars and making them cooler. And in this case, he's taken one of our kits, an Explorer-based kit, and he's carved a human heart into it with nothing but hand tools and talent. The build, again, was delayed. Jimmy has a new TV show going out that during this period is taking 15-hour days, and he just simply ran out of time to do everything that he wanted to. However, the guitar is awesome, and I have bid on it personally. So, well, let's see what happens. The man used a bunch of vintage carving chisels that his father gave him when he was 15. Need I say more? It's worth watching. Check it out.
You know, doing something like this really makes you feel vulnerable. It's almost like I've said it before on the podcast. It makes you feel like you're standing naked in front of the world when you do something as personal as this, and then you post it in a YouTube video. So I've definitely feeling a bit vulnerable with this one.
Next up is Tim Sway. This instrument is incredible. Not only do we have a guitar and a mandolin, we've got a detachable twin neck. The reasoning behind it is as awesome as the build. Tim had one of our uncut rectangular kits, and he wanted to make a guitar and then use the waste from cutting out a guitar shape to make an extra instrument. These unnecessary limitations take builds in new directions and force creativity, and I absolutely love it. I hope you do too. And Tim's charity of choice, as well as the GGBO, is the Arbor Day Foundation. He will be supporting their work through this. So dig deep, bid on these incredible instruments. Brad Angove is next on our list. He is one of my favorite competitors. He is one of my favorite YouTubers of all time, not just guitar-based YouTubers. I love his work and I consistently learn from him. His build is both ergonomic and striking and involves wood and metal and unnecessary sanding. I know the feeling. I absolutely know the feeling. It's an incredible instrument, and quite frankly, I expected him to be higher up in the ranking, but such is the vicissitude of online public voting. We could have ended up with a guitar called Guitari McGuitarface for all we know. However, his charity of choice is the Second Chance Animal Sanctuary. It is all to do with the fact that during lockdown, we got new puppies, and when life started up again, a lot of people decided that slightly older puppies were not worth keeping, for example. And this is sad. Bid on Brad's guitar, it's amazing. Thank you. Yes. Last year, one of the prizes was that the winner of the public competition got to compete in the Invitational. And that was Laura from Broken Wind. She has come in 5th in this competition with a total of 315 of the public vote. And her guitar, again, is just wonderful. She picks a theme. Last year it was Jersey, and she made a Jersey cow, and it blew us all away. And she did her first ever inlay in her 4th guitar, and it's of the Lone Soldier, and it's just impeccable. The guitar is based on a poppy with, well, check out the build. Her charity is the Royal British Legion, helping veterans and their families since 1921. I'm going to be meeting Laura soon. I cannot wait. She's going to come on a course at Crimson. It's just going to be awesome. She is my kind of people. 4th place, I'm sorry to say, is Tamar Hannah of 3x3 Customs. She should have won last year. Her guitar last year was incredible. Her guitar this year, I was expecting great things, is even better. And yet here we are. She has inlaid brass into the kit, made an electroacoustic black and brass and gold. I would not be surprised if I saw this guitar on the shelf at a guitar shop, in mass production, being produced in the thousands and thousands. That is how I feel. Her choice of charity is St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and you need to own this guitar. It is incredible. Period. In 3rd place, we have Tchiks Guitars. He broke a lot of rules in this video. He does not talk on video. He does not sell things. He does not do partnerships. He is one of my favorite guitar YouTubers. He built, the first thing I saw from him was building a guitar out of a 335 style guitar out of a shelf at the beginning of lockdown. And the second I saw that, he uses hand tools for preference, even when it would be easier without. And he designs really beautiful guitars. Puts me to shame. And, well, he had 702 of the votes, has come in 3rd place. His guitar was made out of a single lump of cherry with an ebony fretboard, and, well, it's beautiful. Check it out. Oh, and by the way, his 4.5-year-old daughter is in all the videos as well, and she's amazing too.
If you win the bidding, I think you should know that all 24 frets were pressed in by my 4.5-year-old daughter. But don't worry, I double checked.
In 2nd place with 802 votes and about to recuse himself entirely for being too late is myself. I didn't finish the build in time, and I totally went off-piste, and it messed up the whole thing. And quite frankly, it is one of those things. So technically 2nd place, but I'm going to give it up and essentially say that Tchiks came in 2nd and Tamar 3rd and Laura 4th, etc. But the vote had already taken place when I decided to do this. So here we go. My guitar. I started with a concept. I veered away from that concept. I ended up with a guitar that I absolutely love, but I should have stuck to what the plan was. Utterly unique, an interesting way of holding it together. If you haven't yet watched it, here's some highlights. Second place had 802 votes. First place had 2,130. An overwhelming majority of you fell in love with Colin of CS Guitars and his guitarton instrument. And it is not only the guitar, it is the sheer comedic genius quality of everything about this build series and build video. The claymore built into it, his home tartan built everywhere. Just the design of the instrument in itself is all utterly genius and hilarious at the same time.
What about me is unique that nobody else is gonna do? And that's when it hit me. I'll do a tartan guitar. A guitarton, if you will.
He's building at the moment in a flat with no workshop and a rickety workbench.
So no outdoor workspace, no big boy power tools, and not much room to move around, and a sugary excuse for a workbench being held together with clamps.
And he has won, and deservedly so. An incredible guitar. And yeah, well, check it out.
All that's left for you now is to hear how it sounds.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you go over and check out every single one of the full builds on the respective YouTubers' channels. Do not forget that the auction is live now. Check out what they're doing, and if you have the means, not only would you be getting an amazing instrument with a cool story, you will also be supporting Great Guitar Build-Off and the Builders Charities. What is not to like? I can't wait to see what happens with GGBO next year. One thing is for sure, it's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. I might stick to the plan. We'll see. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe. To everyone. Yeah. Good night all. See you Saturday for the main competition.